to hear from you guys with the finger on the pulses with everything that you guys do about what kind of trends are happening right now. What are you hearing from your customers and your prospects, and what should people be thinking about right now? So who wants to kick us off? And that's it for another Masterclass. I'm going to get Tristan to put a little tumbleweed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, everyone's just looking at each other going.
Before we kick off today's episode, I've got some more recommendations for you. My first recommendation to you is Infinity Staff Global. Ross and the team specialise in finding you outsourced and offshore staff based out in South Africa. I can talk from experience, fantastic members of staff, but they can help you get 180-degree recruiters, 360 degrees recruiters, back office support, marketing professionals, or even business development professionals for your team. Link in the comments. Next up is Matt Fox and Exodus Advisory. If you're an agency that's looking for guidance and growth advice, if you're looking for mentoring, if you're looking for a recruitment leader to take you from startup through to sell up, Matt Fox is your guy. This is a person who recently went through exiting an agency, explored all the different options, and is very well placed to help you tailor your business model and your business strategy to achieving the exit that you are looking for. My next recommendation is SourceFlow. Now, there's lots of reasons to recommend SourceFlow, but one that stands out for me is their attribution analytics and their actual ROI tools. So SourceFlow shows you agencies exactly where every candidate and every client lead comes from, and soon you'll even be able to do revenue analytics and let you decide and figure out the ROI of every placement that's been made via your website. Again, link in the comments. My next recommendation is the Marketing Junction. So if you're looking to increase your sales and profits, reduce costs, and choose recruitment marketing specialists who've got years of hard-won experience, get in touch with Robert Woodford and the team and take your recruitment marketing that a little bit more seriously. My final recommendation for you is none other than Conquest. Carl and the team are the only commission management platform in the recruitment industry. So if you're looking to automate, calculate, and motivate your recruiters using their commission structures, if you want to keep an eye out what's going on, if you want advice and recommendations on how you should be structuring your commissions, get in touch with Carl and the team. Link in the descriptions.
Welcome to a RecTalk Masterclass featuring me, Nitin Sharma, and my panel of esteemed guests and Bobby.
Thanks. Yeah, cheers, guys. I'm out.
Let's do a quick introduction round, so people who have watched it that maybe don't know who you guys are can get to know you a bit better, and then we'll jump straight into it. Should we go this way?
Yeah.
Or should we go this way, and then finish it?
Or just that one.
Yeah, just save the best for last.
I'm Keith from Recruitment Funding Solutions.
I'm Bobby from Elevate Learning and Nitin's love child.
I'm Stewart Roberts from Mayachi.
Christian Maver from One Day Wealth.
And Can from Avensys.
What's your surname again, Can?
Let's not. We'll be here till the end of the episode.
So remember when you used to get like the names printed on the back of your shirt? Yeah. You're like, bro, there's like an 8-character limit.
I swear.
What do you want me to do with this?
It charged extra.
He was signing in downstairs and I think it took him 35 seconds just to type his surname.
Well, I was going to say, I didn't put Recruitment Funding Solutions, I just put RFS because I couldn't be bothered to type it all, to be fair.
That's it. Guys, thank you very much for joining us and giving us your time. As always, this is an incredibly valuable experience for those who are watching and listening, because we've got some of the brightest industry minds and Bobby to share what...
I was going to say, where are they?
Anyone else catching these strays, or is it just me?
You threw a straight at me on LinkedIn this morning. This is what I'm saying, mate.
Absolutely.
I told you I don't bite, but when I do it...
It's all life.
But yeah, look, I'd love to hear from you guys with the finger on the pulses with everything that you guys do about what kind of trends are happening right now. What are you hearing from your customers and your prospects? And what should people be thinking about right now? So who wants to kick us off? And that's it for another Masterclass. I'm going to get Tristan to put a little tumbleweed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, everyone's just looking at each other going.
Go on then.
Who's going to
Go on. Thank you, Christian.
We were, a lot of us, except for Bobby, were at the Rec Expo last week. One of the things that I've seen coming up a lot is a little bit of negativity around the market. But actually, one of the interesting things is maybe it's just normalising a little bit after having some fantastic post-COVID years. Mm-hmm. And, running businesses that are lean, that are using tech, that are doing things in the right way with a human connection is what's important at the moment.
Interesting.
Yeah, I've had lots more meetings, I would say, in the last quarter with new starts. So people who are still looking to start their own agency, or who have actually started their own agency. There is still, on the other side, I'm noticing there is people either giving up or, actually going bust, but there still seems to be an appetite of people wanting to start their own agency.
Is that being driven by an increase in redundancies, maybe? Because I've seen this outside of recruitment. I've seen a lot of people moving into consultancy because they've been laid off as like software engineers and project managers and that kind of thing. And are like, well, basically, unless I set up my own business, I'm not getting fucking hired. Like, you know what I mean?
But I think as well, there's agencies, the bigger agencies, who are trying to make themselves lean, and then they're changing commission structures or something like that. And that is the first thing that a top biller automatically there goes, I'm going to end up with less money, so why don't I go and start my own agency?
I was going to completely agree with that. That's exactly what I was going to say. The one we get, because predominantly what we do is new start.
But that's exactly your domain, right?
And I think a lot of the comments are, a few years ago, it probably was redundancy.
Yeah.
Because post-COVID, people were cutting staff, etc. So now, I'm with Stu, I think it's commission-based.
Yeah.
A lot of big billers are thinking, well, hang on a minute. I've got this many people out in my sector, men on whatever you want, have numbers, whatever you want to call it. I could have half as many and make more money because it's for me, rather than getting a rubbish commission. So I'm certainly, I mean, we've done more new starts this year than in any year since we set up in business.
Interesting.
I think that's always been a perennial issue, isn't it? I think lots of big billers have always thought, hang on a minute, at some point I've got to start making this money for me.
Yeah.
And, I've seen it certainly over the last 10, 13 years or so, that, everyone goes, I'm dissatisfied with what's going on, so might as well make my own stage, as someone tries to put out. But I think what I'm noticing is a lot of people are trying to look.
You like that one, didn't you? I'll let you keep that one.
Mate, I'll just keep recycling your shit.
you get paid to do the L&D thing. I'll just feed you the lines.
Mate, it's between you and ChatGPT. What more do I need?
First.
But what I'm seeing is that a load of businesses are looking for ways forward in whatever way. They don't really know what is the way to go at the moment.
Yeah.
And I'm working with businesses who are looking at kind of, do they go 180? Do they go 360? They're not really 100% sure of what that model needs to look like. They're not really sure about what the learning and development needs are at the moment. They don't know what their tech stacks really are. They don't really know what their funding models are. It's almost like, I think a lot of people are looking for reassurance and looking for like finding that light at whatever the end of this tunnel looks like at the moment. And it's been tough. Look, there's no two ways about it. But I think there's a lot of people. The smart ones are almost spotting opportunity right now.
Yeah.
And like you said, looking at how do I make my businesses lean, but as productive as possible, or how do I make how do I do more with less? That's what I'm kind of noticing a lot more at the moment. I don't know whether that's consistent.
I don't know about you, Stu, but what I'm finding as well is that the old new startup used to be, I want to have this many staff, I want to have an office in the city centre in London or Manchester or Birmingham.
Oh, that must have gone out the window.
The status, basically.
Exactly. Look how many staff I've
stupid
got.
value metrics.
Now I'm finding that actually more and more we get not interested in that.
No.
Do it for themselves, keep it for themselves, work from home, keep the costs down, less men out, more profit for themselves, and they're happy as Larry.
I think
they don't want to suddenly have that, I want to have 5 offices in the country and 20 staff.
I think as well, they don't trust other people coming into the business as well. There's
There's
like
a trust thing, but also there's no actual blueprint or like model to copy anymore, right?
Yeah.
Because
some people on LinkedIn will disagree with you. So there's a blueprint for everything.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
But there's no what they've got to ask themselves is, what's the reward for having the office and all of that? Because invariably you take all these staff on, and then your top billers start earning more than you, and they're going on holidays, and you're sitting there thinking, I'm doing 70 hours a week, and like, what's it all for?
Answering stupid questions all day.
Yeah, exactly.
I think people look at that profit and lifestyle version of what that needs to look like, and then maybe if they want to grow, they look at that kind of office space and all that kind of thing as a secondary thing. I think almost like the recruitment industry has kind of flipped on its head a bit, because like you say, back in the day, you had your essentially you're a big 10 recruitment business spin-off company. You wanted to replicate the exact same thing. And Nitin and I were talking about this last night. You almost create a time capsule of that business at that moment in time.
Yeah.
So if you left S3 in 2018, you become that if you haven't learned to evolve and move on. And I think that's what we're starting to see, those particular kind of chickens coming home to roost at the moment as well. That a lot of people have rested on their laurels, but they just don't know which way to move now.
I suppose the question becomes not what the blueprint for the business is, what's the right business for you and your circumstances.
Yeah. Ken, what are you seeing out there at the minute?
Mixed bag, actually. So we do see, as you said, lots of new startups that come speak to us, and again, it's because they were top billers. I've helped out a few top billers who've left their organization, set up on their own. But also, we're seeing some people who've, like I spoke to a company yesterday, and they've been going for a long time, and they came to me yesterday because they wanted to look, we're still stuck in 2016. We need to move with the times. It's 2025. It's about time we kind of did something about it. Of course, there's a lot of tech noise out there at the moment, which everyone's kind of chasing. And again, the number of staff that is needed to run an organization has reduced because of the tech. And where they can run the organization from is easier than it was like maybe 10 years ago, where, if you were to have outsourced people in either South Africa or India, or whatever it is, you needed to have a lot more tech in place. Nowadays, that's so much more condensed. And there are dangers of people just doing it themselves and winging it, which we do see out there, because that could all come crashing down at some point.
No, I think that's always been the case. When I ran my agency, we got up to 15 heads, and I was the guy that did all the IT. I don't know what I was doing.
But
things
do
have
you think people, it's all, and look, me and you've been chatting about some stuff. Do you think it's almost like a bit of an afterthought? And again, it's almost like, so you get a cyber attack and it's, we need to defend it. Do you think that IT sometimes becomes, we know we need invoice finance,
it's a non-revenue generating part of the business, right? That may cause a problem. It's no different to those who don't look at their business insurance year after year and make sure they've got sufficient coverage. Exactly the same, because they just see it as does it work? Yes. Is it a bit of a pain to deal with it? Or is it more of a pain to change it? Well, the workarounds are easy. We can get around it. It's fine. Okay. Have we been hit with a cyber attack? Not really.
So do I need it? Yeah. I think I noticed your post on LinkedIn about directors of businesses not even looking at their month-to-month management accounts.
That's it, yeah.
And only looking at their year-end 9 months after the year-end.
That's it.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, that's kind of an afterthought,
It's
isn't
chip
it?
wrapper at that point.
It's an
because
afterthought.
actually, they should be looking at it as they go along and knowing what their business is doing as they go along, because otherwise, you don't know. You could be failing miserably.
Yeah.
And
I think everything's hunky-dory.
And actually, there was a period of time where you should have made changes to your business to rectify things.
Yeah.
But because you didn't, you're now going, it broke.
Yeah.
It comes back to that top biller thing. You're a top biller at a company, you're working at one of the big companies, and you're in there, you go in, you do your job each day, there's a whole team behind you, you think, I can do better than this.
Yeah.
But you don't think about the accounts, the IT, the L&D, you don't, the invoice financing, and all of a sudden, you're like, I'm spending 3/4 of my time just running a business and half the time on the phone, and I'm not making as much for it.
Well, I remember speaking to Nitin years ago when he was potentially going to come and use the services we were using, and basically he was wearing multiple hats. I knew he was. I was talking to him and he was like, I'm making the tea, I'm also doing the recruiting, I'm also managing the staff, and I'm also doing a bit of the IT, I'm also doing a little bit of the invoicing.
But do you feel like that's almost like a rite of passage that business owners feel like they have to do because that's what's kind of been told to them, like you have to do all of this stuff?
Yeah, I think
and
so.
Because
you must spin multiple plates.
Yeah, you must spin multiple
Don't
plates.
pay someone else to do
you
something
must,
else for you.
You must be seen to be working 60 hours a week. You must be seen to be doing the invoicing and all that kind of stuff. It must be your email address that's the most visible.
Give up a 9 to 5 to start a 5 to 9, don't
Yeah.
you?
Yeah. I think there is a
Don't do
genuine
it for freedom, getting on.
There's a genuine level of naivety as well, isn't
yeah.
there? I mean,
Big time.
the top biller syndrome
Big
is the
time.
prime example. I can go and do that for me and make an absolute fortune. Because when we get them, you'll talk to them about maximizing profits and have you claiming this through the business and are you doing that? When I talk to them, it's like, well, now you're a business owner.
Yeah.
So you have to think about this and this and this. And suddenly you get people going, oh, So I don't just have to recruit.
No.
No.
But
That's
you know,
always-
the
that's
really
always
don't
part
just
of-
have to recruit now.
The problem with that, or the reason that's kind of quite prevalent, I think, is, and this is no shade to businesses that do this, is when your go-to-market strategy and your marketing campaigns are all around, all you have to do is bill. We'll do everything else for you. You're encouraging this level of naivety, and you're encouraging the fact that, oh, you don't need to know about your director responsibility. You don't need to know about where, if this goes wrong, where you could end up, which is up a paddle without a creek.
So I went through that process, and I became really neglectful of everything else because you don't have a handle on anything, and like it's just get on with doing what you do, and it's. Yeah, it's a bit, you almost get your accounts shown to you, and it's like, well,
Yeah.
What does that mean?
yeah, I have no idea what this
And
means.
also, but
It's a load of numbers. What does it mean?
The implications of that, right? Because when things go south, because again, statistically speaking, most businesses are not going to go past the 10-year mark. They're going to cock up at some point, and things will come crashing down. You're going to be sat in front of a liquidator, having to make sense and justify things that you have no idea about, why, the who, the where, and the answer of, oh no, well they did that for me, isn't going to be good enough. That's not going to wash.
Your responsibility.
That responsibility sits on
The
you.
person
and
who
then-
signs off the
That's
account
it.
is the director.
And when they're coming after you for your fiducial responsibility, and they're coming after you trying to write you off as a director for 10 years and all the rest of it, and all the smear campaign that's going to come with that, there's no then going back and going, but you said all I had to do was bill.
But also, it's about.
I didn't do that. They did.
No,
Yeah.
but I've got a client, and I helped them out at the beginning of the year, and they're currently going through this process where I looked at their year-end accounts for like the previous year, and I was looking at them, those numbers aren't right. They are not right at all. Their turnover was less than how much money they had as outstanding debtors on their year-end account. So it was like £3 million outstanding, and they'd only billed 1.8. And I was like, how can that be? And the accountant had produced the accounts and given them and signed them off and put them in. I then looked at the previous year, and they'd done exactly the same. And it was because the internal team, the person who was the bookkeeper, wasn't a qualified bookkeeper. She did them. And then the accountant who picked them up just took her numbers and put them straight into a set of accounts and got them signing them. Now we're going through a professional negligence claim against them through their insurance company, but they didn't know. Because the accountant didn't sit down and go through them and explain them, or even the accountant probably didn't even look at them.
I had I've got a really strong example of this, right? So at the point where our business was getting really cash strapped and stuff, I started being all right, I need to take a bit more of an interest in what's going on, right? Bear in mind, my old business partner was the one that was dealing with the accountants on a regular basis, and his wife was our bookkeeper. So the VAT bill thing comes through, right? Your VAT bill's due, the figures come through, and he's like shitting himself. He's downstairs talking to his wife, and they're going back and forth, and I was like, right, I need to step in now. So I go in, like, what's going on? Oh, no, we're just sorting the VAT bill out. Well, what do you mean sorting the VAT bill out? Oh, we're going to have to put it on like a payment plan or something. No, why? How much is it? It's like, it's 25 grand. And I was like, how? And he was like, no, well, look, they've worked it out and stuff, and basically it's 25 grand. And I was like, right, no, I'm going to ask you again. We haven't had £100,000 paid into our business in this quarter, right? The cash didn't go in the bank. So we don't have the 25 to pay out. It's not like we took in 100 grand, spent 100 grand, and went, sorry that man, we spent it. Right? We've not had that money in the business.
No.
So I'll ask you one more time, how? And then he was like, oh yeah, no, I didn't think of that. And I'm like looking at his wife.
Just do it from logic.
You're the
Pure
bookkeeper.
logic,
I'll ask you, how?
Yeah.
How have you missed this?
Yeah.
Go back to them now, and what basically what was going on was we had a high number of temp runners out, and they were going, no, but your invoice values are like per temp is like nearly £1,000 a week, and you've got like 50 of them out and blah blah blah. So you have you've generated 100 grand's worth of business in this quarter. And I was like, and what's our cost of sales? Because of those 100 grand worth of invoices, the contractors have been paid the majority of that, because that's how temp recruitment works.
That's it, exactly. And they're charging you VAT that you paid over, so you can offset.
And then literally my business partner's looking at his wife like, oh, why didn't you pick that up? And she's like, well, I don't know. And I'm like, what is going on? I've got Lauren Hardy over
blind
here.
leading the blind.
I mean, that's an extreme example, but I guess a lot of people just don't know what they don't know.
I don't think it is that extreme.
Bro, it's not an extreme
I don't
example.
think
It's
it's
really not,
Yeah.
because actually what it come down to was, so I'm then ring the accountant up and I'm like,
Yeah.
right, Ben, I don't mean to be this guy, but what are you doing?
Yeah.
And he went, oh, no. So basically, Sean and Lauren want to show, they need to show the turnover of the business to be a lot higher. And the reason they need to do that is because they're trying to go through a remortgage and they can't get personal credit. So they're trying to do something. And so I warned them about this, and I did say this is what's going to happen. And he was like, no. Put the revenue, the revenue and our revenue figure is the invoice value. It's not this. And don't do the cost of sales thing. And like, he was like, and I did warn him that you're going to end up with a massive VAT bill. And he went, hey, don't worry about it. We'll just put it on payment plan. That's when it all started. Like, I see what's happening here.
Yeah.
You're fucking the business over.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Yes.
But without knowing that, without looking at it, and if I'd have just carried on in the ignorance that I had displayed up until that point, like, I wouldn't have cottoned that onto
He
that.
might have continued.
That's right.
He might have done that again every month, and then actually suddenly
I think
this
the one-
is
And then you owe the Batman 100 grand.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the
But
one
they
thing
got
I
the
try
remortgage.
and do when people start up is I make sure that if they ask for advice, I say whatever you're doing, whether it's an accountant, whether it's a tech person, whether it's a CRM you buy, doesn't matter. Make sure you get one that understands recruitment.
Yes, that's it.
Because you can just get a bog standard accountant,
Yeah.
no idea.
That-
Recruitment specific. I
that's
say
the point I
go
was
for
gonna make.
recruitment specific.
How many
specific.
times have people around this table spoke to a recruiter that, you know, used Uncle Bob down the road, or, you know, like,
Does the
oh,
butcher, the baker, the
he's
candlestick
a
maker.
great accountant. I've spoke to 2 in the last 3 weeks that are like had huge HMRC liabilities because they didn't get the right accountancy, and they kept sticking with them until it basically came to like, and it's costing them tens in some
But
cases.
I think there's a lot of tie kicking that happens within accountancy. I don't, obviously, that's not for me to have a go at all accountants, but I know that what I got service-wise from my accountants was absolutely like useless.
Yeah. So I went for a curveball in here, and one that I've been talking about on LinkedIn recently is like, how does the average Joe, whether it's you, whoever it is, business owner wise, judge?
Can I just stop you there? I'm above average Joe.
Millions.
I'm the only one.
Average YouTube Joe. Okay, average YouTube Joe. Okay.
Back to Can. Sorry.
Okay, sorry.
So that's an eye roll count of 3.
Oh. Okay, anyway, so my point is, how does the average business owner differentiate between you suppliers, right?
You're a supplier.
I'm asked the question myself.
He's on the soapbox now. He's talking to us about this.
Okay, I'm talking about myself as well. How does Bobby, Nitin, Keith,
Stewart.
you guys, Stewart and Christian.
Just backhand you then can. Like,
Well, that's exactly I'm not done yet. Actually. I think the wrong time to go.
It's even coming later.
But basically, how do you differentiate between a shit supplier and a good supplier? They could be having years
It's
of
easy.
recruitment.
You go onto RecTalk and you see all their reviews. And
Or
you review that one up for me then, didn't you?
Yeah.
Right, how many reviews?
No. You're right. You're absolutely right. The problem is there is no single source of truth.
Yeah.
And the only real way of knowing is by getting involved in networks, communities, referrals,
Recommendations.
and that kind of
recommendations.
Yeah,
I used to
absolutely.
disagree with my wife on this all the time, and actually she was bang on, because we'd be like, oh, we need to get the we need the window cleaner, or we need to get I'd love to get a landscaper in or gardener in, because I can't be asked to keep cutting the grass and all that sort of stuff. And I'll go, oh, this person drops a leaflet through the door, like, let's call them. And she'd go, they're obviously shit then, aren't they? And I'll be like, what do you mean? She's like, and her dad's been a plumber his entire life and stuff, because my dad's never had to send a single leaflet out anyway, because his customers will tell others who tell others, and then that's where his work's always come from.
Yeah.
If they've got time to drop leaflets out or pay someone to drop leaflets out, they're having to drum up business, which means they're not very good. And I used to disagree, but actually that's bang on, because you get all of your work. I'll say arguably all of your work comes through referrals.
That's it.
You know,
Yeah.
you were in Amsterdam based on referrals.
Yeah.
The number of businesses you guys have set up,
Yeah.
they then go and talk to other business owners, and guess where they come from, right?
Yeah.
So yourself, like, your marketing spend is literally minimal, because yours is just no. The people I'm helping, they know what I do for them, and they bring it in. Same with yourself, right?
My first recommendation to you is Infinity Staff Global. Ross and the team specialise in finding you outsourced and offshore staff based out in South Africa. I can talk from experience, fantastic members of staff, but they can help you get 180-degree recruiters, 360 degrees recruiters, back office support, marketing professionals, or even business development professionals for your team. Link in the comments. Next up is Matt Fox and Exodus Advisory. If you're an agency that's looking for guidance and growth advice, if you're looking for mentoring, if you're looking for a recruitment leader to take you from startup through to sell up, Matt Fox is your guy. This is a person who recently went through exiting an agency, explored all the different options, and is very well placed to help you tailor your business model and your business strategy to achieving the exit that you are looking for. My next recommendation is SourceFlow. Now, there's lots of reasons to recommend SourceFlow, but one that stands out for me is their attribution analytics and their actual ROI tools. So SourceFlow shows you agencies exactly where every candidate and every client lead comes from, and soon you'll even be able to do revenue analytics and let you decide and figure out the ROI of every placement that's been made via your website. Again, link in the comments. My next recommendation is the Marketing Junction. So if you're looking to increase your sales and profits, reduce costs, and choose recruitment marketing specialists who've got years of hard-won experience, get in touch with Robert Woodford and the team and take your recruitment marketing that little bit more seriously. My final recommendation for you is none other than Conquest. Carl and the team are the only commission management platform in the recruitment industry. So if you're looking to automate, calculate, and motivate your recruiters using their commission structures, if you want to keep an eye out what's going on, if you want advice and recommendations on how you should be structuring your commissions, get in touch with Carl and the team. Link in the descriptions.
How would you answer that then if someone was to ask you that, Kat?
Yeah.
Well, it's different. I mean, like, you don't know what you don't know. Like, for example, in businesses like mine, business like Stewart, accountants, right? So you could be doing whatever, and the guy who you're servicing may be thinking you're great, right? But you don't know what you don't know. He doesn't know what he doesn't know, right?
So I think it really boils itself down to the outcomes you can deliver, right? So it doesn't matter which business that you are, it's what outcomes you can actually demonstrate that you have delivered.
But your accountant filed your VAT returns on time and generated your self-assessment. So as far as I agree with what Can's saying. You didn't realise how crap your accountant was until
you spoke to me.
Yeah.
until you had somebody else look at it and highlight that to you, right? So if you're outcomes focused only, you're going to go, well.
But I was getting frustrated that my tax bill was way higher than it should have been.
Yeah, but everyone's tax was higher than
Yeah.
you should be.
Totally, but then having
The sentiment remains the same, right?
but the ability to hear that there is a different outcome to be delivered, and I think we all need reassurance, and actually a lot of the people that we're working with just need reassurance at this point in time that there is a way forward,
And there are, and the reassurance that there are good people out there. I think that's the thing is people go, oh, that accountant, he's done all of his qualifications, he or she's done all those qualifications, they must be really good. And same with a lawyer as well. You can have good lawyers and bad lawyers. You can have good accountants and bad
Qualifications do not make it.
Well, this is the thing,
The problem you've got with accountants at the moment, what I kind of see, is that not a lot of them have actually been in industry. They have been in a small practice and never actually got the commerciality to actually.
But luckily, when you've been a
talk to
recruiter,
clients on that
you can kind of know those things because we've kind of seen, and you'll probably agree that there's loads of people with lots of qualifications. People that have all the qualifications are pretty much all the gear, no idea. It's essentially it's how they display that competency. It's how they allow you to kind of demonstrate what they've achieved with that, and that's it's not about what you've done. It's what it's how you've done it and what you've done with those things that count.
Take industry experience over qualifications all day.
Yeah, I've got some thoughts on it. So I think we live in a world of social proof. So again, and that can be like can be sort of like a Google recommendation, but also word of mouth. Speak to people that have used it. Are there clients out there that are willing to introduce you to? Are there people out there? There's networks. And also, I think that looking for people that are out there, all of us are out there at networks, at things. These people have actually got something to lose. They've got a reputation to lose. Because if I go and do a bad job, and then they start speaking to you guys, like, I'm getting embarrassed turning up. I get embarrassed turning up. So look at people that have got authority, that are out there speaking all the time. Because I don't think you can bullshit your way through.
I think all of us,
podcasts.
Some people
all
have tried
around this table that we're all educators in some way. We don't mind giving up our time to actually educate people. If you're going into doing what we do and you're just doing it from a pure sales perspective, people turn off. recruiters especially,
But
they
this-
want to know what they're getting for free in some way, and we don't mind
Exactly,
giving our
exactly.
time and our effort for free.
It's all about that give value, right?
Yeah.
Without the need of a transaction there and then,
That's
because the
it.
transaction will come. And you're absolutely right. That you can tell and smell that.
Yeah.
And by contrast, well, I've said contrast. Similarly, it's the same thing with recruitment businesses. Right now, if your answer to your woes is, I need my guys on the phones, outbound, sell, people can smell that desperation and they engage them with you.
So,
I was at an event yesterday run by Mixos, and there was 90, nearly 100 HR professionals, TA, HR leaders, all in this room, gathered there, that they organise as a recruitment agency, about EDI, because it's something of value to them.
Yeah.
Not once did they go up there and go, we're the best recruitment agency in Milton Keynes, you should definitely use us. Before you leave, please give us a vacancy. It's all right.
yeah.
No?
I mean, you shouldn't have to.
And they didn't. But what happened was that people feel then obligated to return some sort of value. Listen, what can I do for you? And Chris said that to me. I'll go and help out and did loads with him. He come to the curry club and he sat there and he was gone, man, I feel really bad though. Like you've done loads for what can I do for you? Like, is there anything that I can be doing for you? Because that's how humans.
Reciprocity, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
you give and you get back. You don't have to give and sell at the same time. Like they've given value to something. So when there's 90 people think, oh, we need to. Do you remember that recruiter that took us out and they did that? They did all that training and they did all that. They're going to be the first person that come to mind, aren't they?
And they are, and they do get it.
Yeah.
And their business is growing year on year on year and going from strength to strength. While other people are then going, oh, Stu, can we get you in to have a look at this and see if there's any way we can squeeze a bit of margin somewhere? Or please, help us out. I've heard you save people thousands.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? That
It's
area.
all about delivering value. I think A, talking about it is one thing, but B, showing it first and foremost, and C, getting people to speak about it for you. I think we've all kind of, your personal brand is what people say when you're not in the room.
Yeah.
And, what is it about that brand that people, whether you're a recruiter, whether you're a supplier, whatever that is, what is it about that brand that you want people to be able to say about you?
I was thinking about this on the train weirdly this morning. I've been in sales for 23 years nearly. Not once have I ever hard sold anyone in my life because I don't think it's necessary.
No.
I don't think I've got it in me.
Do you know what, Christian?
I think I've
And
once
that's what
in
I was thinking. I haven't. I'm not a confrontational person.
No.
So I don't like confrontation. But I don't think you need it to be a salesperson. I think my dad always told me, he was in sales for 50 odd years, never ever hard sold in his life because people would come to him because they liked
the thing is
him,
that should
they
transfer.
liked his advice and they liked the experience.
That should transfer to recruitment in itself. The last word in every single job title that I generally tend to see is consultant in some shape or form. And what is a consultant? It's someone who allows you to make business decisions based on data, insight, analysis, and questioning.
Not far off a coach, is it?
Right. So what we if you're then going right, buy my candidate, buy my service, buy my shit, absolutely. It almost undermines that consultative element. I mean, you don't see people at PwC, Accenture go, buy my shit, please. Oh, and I'll do it for like £2.50 an hour. Like
35p.
Yeah, 35p. I think, like I said, I think we heard someone, Chris, wasn't it, that was saying
£9 a week.
£9 a week GP. Like if you're working,
That's chasing.
we generally
What are we going to make from that? Nothing.
There's lots of
They're not
pricing
going to make any
experts out
time.
there.
What they're going to do is they're going to
numbers.
use dodgy umbrella companies and make the money on the back end.
It's just
Yeah.
numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
But
numbers.
this is where the education piece then comes
That's
back in,
it.
because then you go,
Exactly.
listen, Mr. Client, that's really cute that you get away with paying £9 margins on your temps. Guess what's going to happen? Yeah, that the payroll company is going to be investigated. Eventually, they're going to disappear because they're very good at doing this. That's what they do.
That's it.
The recruitment business is going to have to shut down because they're working on £9 margins, right? These guys are eating what's left and they've got literally taking crumbs off the table. And then the liability comes to you. And then when you, as HR manager, FD, whoever the fuck you are, to sign this idiocy off, they're going to go, where was your due diligence?
Well,
how do you know what temps will be
with
paid
the
by
new
I
finance
was
act
just
that's
about to
coming
say, with the
out,
new
it's going to be
employment
moved to the
rights
agency.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it can't be, that you pass it to an umbrella and the umbrella then just goes pop
And you go, nothing to do with
nothing's
it.
doing
No,
it.
yeah.
It's now being
But then when
passed
the
to
agency goes pop as well, Mr.
Yeah.
Client, this is the
There's a-
education
That's
piece.
it,
They
yeah.
are not going to just leave it with the first point of of Chase where they go, oh, that business has gone under. Oh, I'll write that off as well. No.
Yeah.
They're coming for whoever is in that supply chain. They're coming after all.
But it's still because someone is still saying yes to those contracts.
People
And it should be the recruitment agencies turn around and say, I'm not working for that.
Yeah.
I know that they feel they have to, or they're chasing. Well, there's no reason to chase a 3% margin or a 6% margin. You are worth it. As a recruiter, you do a service, and you do give your time, and you actually do a job, so you should get paid for it. Not go in at, I'm going to be chasing, 500 workers, which are going to be
And
actually
society
costing me
cheaper
more
than
money.
your current one.
That's it.
So from a value add perspective, then what can recruitment business owners be doing right now to make themselves more savvy in some of these areas?
Go on, Can. He said, what can
Ooh, that's
So whether it's tech, like what could a recruitment business owner be doing right now to understand how, where their tech stack is?
save
at?
themselves money.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
so one of the biggest things with recruiters that I see is they chase every shiny object, right? So you look at a typical tech stack. And
That's
it's
why
all-
you've got the big orange jumper on.
shiny,
These fucking love shiny, so if I'm shiny, they'll chase me.
He's going for bright gold next week, metallic.
give me ideas. But no, it's about, we started this off by saying, you need to be lean, you need to be mean, you need to be, a money-making machine, whatever it is. But you can't do that if you're buying everything off the shelf, right? And you've got 10 different tools that do the same thing, for example. Or, you got guys who are working, they can't work because their tech's not working. I mean, I was speaking to an agency owner the other day where, they've got 10 staff that they're struggling. They're struggling because they've got devices that are 4 years old that aren't cut out to work with the new kind of, web-based interfaces of all the CRM systems and stuff. They've got staff based in remote locations.
What, so 4-year-old tech can't deal with modern, like what's happening right now?
4-year-old tech cannot deal with certain
Modern applications.
applications.
That's bananas,
Right,
isn't it?
if you take a laptop from...
Because I'm just thinking back in my day, like how old were the machines at S3 and what they were doing? Like,
computer was it?
might as well be.
Screens while Gary Holtman stood there going,
I was there in 2014, not that long ago.
Sorry. So if you listen
13,
to this, right?
12 even.
When I started working back in 2008, RAM was like 512 megabytes, right? Now, 4 years ago, you had 8 gig of RAM on a laptop, right? Nowadays, you can't do jack shit with it because LinkedIn, Teams, Outlook, you open these
Chrome.
applications out. Chrome,
just
eats-
Chrome keeps the
Yep.
shit out of everything.
doesn't it?
Yeah, it does,
Yeah.
But you're right. But most business owners don't know that. They don't think about.
They just
that,
think
right?
it's still working.
And they're
It's
like,
fine.
oh no, these laptops, no, they're all right. No,
Lazy staff.
I don't want to
Make more phone calls. You don't need your laptop, you just need a
I
phone.
don't want to spend another £500 per laptop. I've got 6 staff, and I don't want to. I haven't got that cash to put out.
So going
Not
back to
having a
the
conversation
original
with someone
point.
like Clown who can get deals, and
That's it.
you know what I mean.
But the thing is, like, I was having a conversation with that same company and I said, look, I have a sales coach at the moment, right? Because I don't have a sales bone in my body, right? And I don't. But the thing is, right? And he was trying to tell me, look, you need to use Spin, you need to use Challenger, you need to do this, blah blah blah, and don't jump to kind of solutions during the call. And I was like, I can't stand there. I mean, I was having a conversation with him this morning. Sorry, Alan. I was having a conversation with him today, and he was saying, well, you need to kind of dig deep and pick on that scab and kind of. It's like, no, because if the guy's sitting there and telling me,
You do, mate.
well, if the guy's sitting there and telling me, right, my staff aren't working as efficiently because I've got this, I'm not going to sit around and say, right, go buy a dozen laptops now. I say to him, well, they're 4 years old. That's not too old. They're of this make, so I got them to open up their system information, tell me, right, they've got 8 gig of RAM, they got this. Okay, fine. Go buy some RAM. Cost you 50 quid. Whack it in. Solution. And this is during a discovery call. So talk about adding value, right? It's about giving a little out to the clients and saying, like, here's some real value. You don't need to go spend 10 grand buying new laptops.
Yeah.
At 50 quid a
I
laptop.
could try and
500
broker
quid.
you a deal and make a bit of margin on top, but actually a 50 quid RAM card will
100%.
suffice for now.
100%. It'll get you through, and if you don't have the cash to spend now, that's what you do. It's about being frugal as well. It's not about always buying the shiniest tech. It's about the tech that suits your business. at the right time.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
you talk about tech, but I actually think the real value comes in the support. Like, because ultimately, like for what you do is like, my system don't work. I ain't on client calls. I ain't earning money. I'm not doing anything. And if I haven't got the support to bring someone, if I am IT, which you know I am, if I am IT, and what do I do? I've had it before, and it's like the worst day of my life. It's like, oh, I've got to cancel all my client calls. I can't do anything. So actually having someone on the end of a phone to say, you know, like, can we sort this problem
As
out?
stupid as it sounds, it's I can make this your problem now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it is. Pass it on.
This VAT bill don't look right. I could sit there and try and work it out and try and work through it, but actually, I can make this your problem now. You know, my guys are really struggling to open our BD calls because the market seems to have shifted, and whatever we're working on doesn't seem to be working. I can make this your problem now. You know what I mean?
But for me, that's great. You know, I'd want that to be my problem because then I can give that outcome. I can help them work on what that looks like. I think again, it's trying to say, well, you know, normally people push that on you and then go, hang on, if I am going to pay you money, then I'm going to expect.
What's the outcome?
Yeah, what's the outcome, right? So that's
what
why.
I'm going to earn off.
Yeah, and
if I give
that's
you
it.
£1,000, I want 10,000 on the back end.
Yeah, that's it. And you know, I can't go around saying, especially with something like training, that I can 10x whatever you're doing. But I can say, hey, because of this particular bit of training that we're doing at the moment, this person has now been able to be, you know, 3 or 4 times more effective than they have
That's
been.
why case studies are important. That's
Totally.
why
This is why testimonials,
reviews,
testimonials,
authority
case studies are so
testimonials,
important.
case studies.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree. It comes back to that, to Can's point. You were just selling what you were doing or what you can do. You said to them, no, you don't need to do that. And that person will remember that by going, you just then tell them to go and buy 4 new laptops. You just saved them a fortune by not doing it. And it's the same, isn't it?
It's more what you can do, not what I can do for you sometimes.
I'm just not
You've
going
got
to sell
remember
someone funding because that's what my business does. Of course I want to sell them that because I'm in business. But I also want to help them understand. Exactly.
They're going to take more funding, and it's better for you, it's better for them, it's better for everyone, isn't it?
It's about what else can I
Well,
give them
like this,
as well as that.
like, since I started my Kai back in Jan last year, I've done over 150 free meetings. So all the people, anyone can have a 2-hour free. I've done over 150 of those. You've had one, yep, and it is a case of that.
If there's anything free to have, then go.
But during that time,
I'm Northern and I'm Asian.
but it is one of those things that every single one of those did get some kind of cost saving, understanding, and all the rest of it. Now, I didn't go, right, okay, now you've had the free meeting, you must sign.
You have to buy it with me.
It's a case of it doesn't work like that, but it's a case of the referral of those. People have had a meeting and then they go, oh, I've got my mate. He would really like that meeting as well. And he started his own agency. And then that's how it grows organically from that perspective.
We spoke about this, right? It's what you're doing now is planting seeds for future harvest.
I've got my clients come back 2-3 years later.
Yeah, which a lot of people don't do, and especially in recruitment, we have this, and we spoke about this in the car on the wedding yesterday, where we just have this, I need it now. I need it now.
Because we
I
have
need
this
to put
myopia.
£5 in and get £50 out.
But just remember, if you're thinking about your business month on month, quarter by quarter, it's not even year on year. let's be
3
honest.
months.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it
for
can
some
be
people,
it
you're
can be a
right.
real challenge, and that myopia, that short-sightedness, can be damaging because you're just thinking, shit, what have I done with this week? And therefore, that's when I certainly see from a training side that people revert back to type because they're going, shit, it's gone to what is it, the 17th of the month right now? So, oh my god, we're not where it needs to be. So just sell. So even though people have long-term strategies and all this kind of thing, we get really short-sighted in how we go about approaching these, and it's allowing yourself to execute that plan over a quarter, a half, but people would need to do
But then
that
that
over a
becomes
week.
long-term plan, right? Because 3 months to 6 months feels like long-term.
Because hey, I own and run my own business, right? I know how difficult it is to think about actually what happens with the monthly accounts, what happens with the quarterlies, because you're thinking about that. It's all very well trying to have long-term decisions, but when there's not as much cash in the bank, you're making desperate decisions. Yeah. I know I did. It's a short knee-jerk, because having cash in the bank or having cash flow,
And the mortgage is important.
it just allows you to make more reasoned decisions, and sometimes we don't, especially in temp businesses, when you see vast sums of money come in and then go out straight away. It's
There's a lot of temptation there, isn't
it's a lot of challenge,
But
right?
it just needs someone, as you it's about the expertise that we have, and it's calling on those expertise and not being frightened of saying, I don't understand something. It's not I'm going to find it out myself. It's actually go and ask the people who are actually experts at it and actually get them to do.
I've always said that vulnerability is a superpower.
Yeah.
And I think if you allow yourself to be vulnerable, to be able to say, hey, I've got this problem, can someone help?
That's it.
The basic intrinsic, the most extreme, reaction that people have, or positive reaction people have, is when someone says, can I help, being able to offer help and advice. So why not lean on that? Certainly if you're a recruitment business, if you're going, why not offer help and advice to your clients? Your clients are now having to navigate. I know we haven't really mentioned these 2 letters, but everyone's worried about those particular 2 letters. And how it all how AI all fits in with everything, and actually being able to educate people to say, well, actually,
42 minutes.
I know. I was impressed.
You ruined it, boss.
I really wanted to piss him off with that.
To be honest, now you have mentioned it, I'm leaving because I haven't got a clue. I can barely work my phone for anything else.
But neither does anyone else. Really.
Yeah.
There's a small amount, but then as you said earlier, there's a lot of noise brought in. And so, and as we said in the car, there's a lot of snake oil being sold in that particular area. But it's allowing yourself to go, right, okay, so what is it that I need to actually achieve? What processes do I need to have in my business? If AI is the tool to be able to do that, then great. If it isn't, that is also great.
Yeah.
It doesn't, but a lot of people tend to go, shit, I need AI. Because I'm seeing loads of people use it.
And everybody's talking about it. So everyone else must be using it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's how do we make the most? And that's the thing. It's about how do we make the most of these things. I know I've used the term of having a Mr. Muscle approach to your business and going, what jobs do I hate and what is it that I can get? Yeah, we'll love those particular jobs.
He's really trying to make that stick, but
I quite like it. I can't be honest, I quite like it.
When you keep undermining it in every single way, how is that going to work with your Bangladeshi click farm?
Do you know what's really interesting though is that around things like you talk about credibility and all that sort of stuff, right? And I'm gonna glaze you for a little bit because you're an MSP, you're Microsoft certified partner. During a time where everyone's shitting themselves about AI, you could right now be going, I'm a Copilot expert. Copilot is, Microsoft owns 50% of OpenAI, the biggest and most commercial source of AI out there. Get me on the expo stage. I'm going to talk to you about Copilot. Get me on your webinars. TRN, do shit with me for free. Team, do shit with me free. I want to travel the country talking about Copilot and setting Copilot up for people, and then they'll come and do business with me. But you chose not to do that. Like, do you know what I mean? You've chosen not to be like, I'm not going to use people's fear as a weapon.
A way to
and be business. Like, I can turn this into revenue for myself.
Yeah. So there's 2 things that.
So I think you're an idiot for doing that.
Yeah, 100%. I don't like like cybersecurity is a big topic, right? So is AI. So both those 2 topics are prime at the moment, right? People talk less about cybersecurity because they don't give a shit about it.
It's boring, right?
It's boring.
Until something bad happens, right?
Until something bad happens. But the thing is, the other part around it is these salespeople who elevate things and make nothing to do with your name. but they elevate the pricing of things and make entry or getting it secure more difficult for people, right? So you have boundaries, like for example, MSPs, they don't take on 1-man bands, they don't take on 2-man bands, right? Because there's no margin in why would we do it? But that means there's a lot of business owners who start off doing everything themselves because they can't go down and get IT support because they're not going to give it to you, right? So the thing is, yes, you could be doing a lot more with your time, but that time isn't worth the amount that you'll have to pay out with traditional partners.
You compounded it. You build a reputation. You're doing that. These people are going to be bigger businesses as they go forward, and they're going to keep using you because they're going to remember you when you have.
But the problem is the null hypothesis is everyone goes, right. If you're a single person, you're a brand new business. No business, so many businesses don't last longer, and so that creates an environment where we go, well, we don't need to worry about me.
I kicked off this. Yeah.
Do you know one of the interesting things? So we talk about why would you use outsourcing?
Yeah.
And you talk about, you said it before, it's like if you are a new business and you're going to go out and you're going to start, you've got a choice. You can go out and make shitloads of mistakes and learn off them, or
But that is how we fundamentally learn. Like we learn from that scar tissue.
There's a shortcut. When you use an outsourcer, they've got clients that have made those mistakes. They probably made mistakes themselves, so they're going to stop you making those mistakes.
So what you're
what you're actually paying them for is to get to where you want to quicker. Like you're not
And potentially not make those mistakes.
That's what I mean. You're not making mistakes.
I could do this and make some mistakes along the way. I
Yeah.
could talk to some people who can teach me about the mistakes that they made along the way. Or I could go to somebody who's got a multitude of clients, all of whom have made mistakes along the way, all of whom have used this person and therefore get the fountain of knowledge of like,
specialising in this.
which is why you can save people, in your example, so much money in just a 2-hour exploration call, because you're like, listen, this is bread and butter shit. I know what you're about to tell me. I know you're going to say, and then I did this, and then I did that. Of course you did, because you're not the only one that did that.
Yeah,
You know?
my 2 hour is pretty much a script, and I just reel it off. But it is a case of because every
Hey,
single
I thought I was special.
but it is a case of that.
Bobby, I'm so glad we're doing this today.
I've still got the Fathom notes. I'll check it out.
Lovely to see you again, John.
The call, be like, hold on a minute.
Wait to see Bobby getting emotional about his finances.
He's going to take that LinkedIn comment off.
But it is the same thing because I deal only with recruitment agencies.
Yes.
They all have those same, as you said, that they've all made those same mistakes. I've seen those mistakes over the last 25 odd years.
There's so many
and
mistakes you can make, aren't
Yeah.
You can't be
But
that
I don't
unique.
want people to make those mistakes.
Most of my conversations are, we need to work on our BD. Right, okay, it's another BD. It's another BD conversation. Cool, let's talk through that. Funny enough, I say this to recruiters. You've got to build up the muscle memory about the problems and challenges that you see, or whether it's the objections that you're likely to face. Because, once you build up that muscle memory.
Same 5, 10, yeah.
Exactly. It's only ever going to be the same 4 or 5 problems, or maybe 6 at a push. So if you learn what the coping mechanisms are for those things or for those mistakes, you will learn very, very quickly.
I'm going to chuck a curveball in, right? So
That's not like you.
I had this conversation this morning with my coach, as I mentioned, and one of the things he said.
Hi, Alan.
Sorry, Alan.
He's listening. So what he
Start
said.
flickering.
Alan's mad.
I didn't know we were doing a Ouija board here.
Yeah, does Alan exist? Is it? If it's like a Kaiser Sose situation.
Are you there, Alan? No.
He's a sensei.
He definitely is. But anyway, so the point he made was, I said to him, I've got 16 years of experience working inside businesses, SMEs, and then 10 years worth of experience in the last 10 years of working in recruitment businesses. So I think I know all your problems. But hey, what does that mean, right? Because your problems, we say here now that every business isn't unique, but there are unique issues to those businesses. So yes, a script is great.
Yeah.
But I think we do need to listen to the
No, you're right in that every problem is unique to that person. However, generally speaking, it is similar to so the next time you speak to someone that goes, oh mate, our machines are crap and blah blah blah, you're not going to be like, no, I've never heard this before. This is new information. You're going to be like,
the thing is,
I get it.
just because you know what the problems are likely to be doesn't stop you from listening.
Yeah.
So you've still got to be attentive. You've still got to understand what the
untapped
situation
piece,
is. You've got to ask questions around it to understand the specificity of it.
Because it could be different things. They could be like, my RAM's not working, my machines are slow, means that my people aren't doing as much
Which
work.
means that doesn't mean that I jump to going right. Just buy some more RAM.
Yeah.
It's more a case of right. Actually, let's dig deeper. Yeah.
I think the other side of that is though, sometimes you can actually gain more respect from someone by actually telling them you're not right for them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So they might give you a problem and you may have to go, I can't solve that.
Or
That's
you
not
might-
for
or
me.
you might just
I suggest
say-
you go and talk to X
That's
or
it.
Y.
That's
or
where referrals come in that respect,
And then
yeah.
that person will probably remember that. And the next time they speak to one of their mates or whatever, will go, actually, who I'm with is not right, but I know someone who is because they told me they were right. But they're going to be in this one.
X, Y, Z.
Exactly. It's like,
Come back to me in a year.
But I have
That can get
recruiters
you
who,
more.
because I offer this session, and they then turn around and go, I don't think I'm at the stage of needing you. And it's kind of like, what stage do you have to be at to actually go, I get some free advice?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, why not have it now? They go, I'm a brand new start, so I think I'll wait until I've done a few placements. Well, they could have made 5 errors during that time, and I could have saved the money now.
We all have examples of that, right? Literally before, what we were talking about, I'll start saving when I've got some spare cash.
I'll start
Literally
saving when
never
I'm
gonna have
rich.
spare cash.
You don't need to when you're rich. You've already got it.
I'll take cyber security seriously if it becomes a problem. But it's a problem now. You're not taking it seriously.
Exactly.
I'll get invoice financing sorted when I've got I've got
I'll get bad debt protection when a client's gone bust. All right, that's a good idea.
I'll do some BD when I've got absolutely no placement.
Well, the problem is,
we're flying at the minute.
That's when
we
they
don't
do
need
it
you.
then.
Well, that's the thing. That was all I had in 2021, 2022. I was doing lots of training. It's like, but what about the BD side of training these people with new recruits? I was like, we don't need that. I was like,
New stuff,
it's like, this is gonna.
We don't need this. Bobby, watch this. I sent an email like,
and the thing is, but then those people also don't want to hear "I told you so" afterwards.
Oh no, you can't.
but you can never be that person that says
No, that's it.
right? Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes
But it's so difficult not to be.
hard.
So difficult.
Oh, you want BD training now, do you?
Oh wow.
Oh, I'm just too busy. I've got curriculums to run. I've got feature on.
I've got 65 naans to eat.
Right, one bit of advice, some pearl of wisdom, something that you want to leave viewers and listeners with that might help them, inspire them, or change their mindset. Doesn't have to be about topic of conversation.
I think the one for me is basically what I said earlier. If you're in recruitment, whatever you're getting as an outsource or even internally, make sure it's recruitment specific.
Yeah,
Simple as that.
Yeah,
Definitely.
like if you're looking for funding solutions, perhaps you should be looking at recruitment funding solutions.
Yes.
It does what it says on the tin. Absolutely, yeah.
The Ronsil.
He looks like he could be in a run suit.
Who needs no nails? You know what I mean?
If I could give a piece of advice to recruitment businesses right now, I think it's understand what the playing field is going to look like, not just right now, but in the next 1, 2, 3, 5 years, and even have those conversations with your candidates and clients about it, because things are going to change, and in a good way, in a bad way. There's we're going through this change of the guard, kind of technologically, and so what does that need to look like? What does the job, if you're in finance, what does an account assistant in 2027 look like versus 2025? Because it's going to change, and then you can start to educate on what's available and what isn't. That's my 2 penneth anyway.
Yeah, I think recruitment directors need to actually take responsibility now, rather than waiting, as you said, for us all these mistakes to be made. As what you're saying, right, about technology.
Stu's trying really hard not to laugh at you saying Penneth.
I got RecTalk, July, the 2 penneth.
But yeah, you said about the technology changing, but there's also the big legislation changes coming in as well. And there's so many people I'm speaking to that go, I'll wait until it comes out. I'll wait till I find out. Wait till it maybe hits me on the
So
arse
basically, we're saying
later
do a
on.
bit of a pestle analysis at the moment,
Yeah,
right?
but there is there's the changing rights to the employment rights law. There's the finance bill coming in. There's all of
Payroll
these,
stuff.
all of this is coming in, and there's still people going, well, I'll wait until it affects me, and it's going to affect everyone. These changes to the employment rights bill are going to hit everyone.
Biggest changes we've ever been.
Every time I go to a team meeting and JMW stand up and actually do a talk, I crap my pants. It's a case of 0-hour contract changes, all of these major changes. That
You don't half put you to sleep though, does he?
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it's a case of actually, it's once you find out exactly what it's going to do, it's going to really shake up the industry. Technology isn't going to fix that.
No.
It's going to have to be that recruiters are going to have to change.
You've got to
their
get ahead of the
mindset
curve.
to
Understand, or even better, understand what that curve looks
because
like.
what it was not enough people probably lobbied against it because they all just went, I don't think it's going to affect me. And so what is actually is now going to come out, and it's actually going to really affect the whole industry, and you need to understand what it is now. So you need to go to these seminars, you need to start talking to lawyers, listening listening to what they're saying, because that is going to be the
Please,
biggest change.
Yeah.
That is the biggest change.
I think my message would be is time is precious, life is short. Like, value your time. Outsource is there to save you time. So if you don't know as a business owner, a top biller, what your hourly rate is worth, then you're not doing yourself justice, because ultimately people around here, can take that time so you can spend it on high value activities and you can do what you want. I speak to too many people that are working too many hours in their businesses, doing too much, spread themselves too thin, and they're missing the kids grow up, they're missing their life. Yeah. And ultimately, you didn't get into this because you wanted to work more hours, you got into it for more freedom.
Well, I was listening to Michael O'Leary, the Rhino guy, and he was saying that he found it physically repulsive going on holidays with his wife and kids.
Oh, lovely guy.
Yeah, and it's like, how can you ever let yourself get to that level?
Yeah.
That profit and lifestyle thing we're talking about is really important. I know it's something Nitin, you've taken on personally, and making sure that you do that, and I think it's really valuable.
But I think it's that hourly rate thing. People don't realise
What
their
their hourly
actual
rate
rate
is.
is. And the number of people I'm like, right, okay, who's doing your bookkeeping? Is your accountant doing it? No, I do it myself. I'm like, how long does that take you? Well, a couple of hours a month.
It's
I'm like,
30 quid an hour job, isn't it?
exactly. Or that could be £100. If you worked out your hourly rate is 50 quid, that's £100. Well, why not pay your accountants to do it? And they're going to do it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rather than you doing it, because you're
And
not
faster,
bookkeeper.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what? Like, I speak to, obviously, in my line of work, older people, and I don't hear 60 and 70-year-olds. I don't hear their regrets going, I wish I'd work more and earn more money.
Yeah.
No, they like, I wish I'd spend more time with my family. I wish I'd been true to myself. I wish I'd spend more time with my partner.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, one day, all your kids are growing up, everything's gone, and like you're sitting there, and you might have all the money in the world, but you've missed all that experiences. You can't buy that back.
Yeah.
It's always like, time is precious, life is short. You like wine, but you hate pork. Love that. Go on, Candyman.
Okay, best for last, I guess. So I am going to bring up the AI words, and I am going to bring up technology. But the thing is,
You'd hope so, running a tech.
I would hope so.
Now, let me talk about L&D.
yeah. Let me talk about L&D. But again, L&Ds are useful in tech stuff as well. But the point is, don't rush into technology decisions as a recruitment business, because it's very easy to kind of go with all the noise going out there, chasing CRM systems, chasing AI solutions just because Bob from down the lane got it, or Bobby or Nitin's got it, doesn't mean it's for those people with you, right? Yeah. So you need to, coming back to that thing about what Stewart and I were saying, that, yes, recruitment businesses are similar, but they're different, blah, blah. Every business is different. Find solutions that fit your needs, your business.
Yeah, agree.
Don't just go chasing the next shiny thing. And when you do buy the technology, invest time in it. Because one of the biggest issues I find out there in the 16 years that I've been working is that people buy technology, don't give it a hot minute, and then think, oh, it's not working for me. They've not invested the time in learning the technology, rolling it out properly to their staff, and making sure that the staff are actually L&D trained on how to use that and benefit the business. Yeah. So those are the things that I find there. And the other thing is, sometimes it's about looking inwards. What do you already have before you go out and buy something else? So sometimes people, I saw a conversation on Team Network about changing CRM systems. Yes, it's one of the biggest, most disruptive processes a business can go through to change, your databases or CRMs or whatever you use. So that's a decision that you shouldn't take lightly. It's something that you need to think about and say, look, I've got this CRM system or this database. Does it do X, Y, and Z? Have you actually bothered looking at the manual, speaking to the supplier and provider to see, are we utilizing it right? And these are some of the problems I find that recruitment owners make all the time. It's like they've not invested enough time. They've not gone back to the supplier and asked them, right, can we use this in any other way? Do you have any other integrations? No, but I've seen this software, let's just go get it. And then they say, oh, well, I don't have time to deploy it properly. So
I think on the back of that, you often find as well, technology is there. Then the people who originally had it get the training, and then new people come in and they're trained by the people in the in the building, not with the company that actually built the technology. So I had a recruitment agency, very large agency, who are using Timesheet Portal. And they were like, yeah, we're going to move to a different software because it doesn't do holiday pay calculations. So I went, yes, it does. I was like, no, we can't seem to find it. So I was like, right. So I rang up Timesheet Portal. Joe came into their office and did a full 2-hour training session with all of the staff, and they come out and go, we're not moving. It's a case of it does everything. But what it was, and I said to them, and I say this to people who have these kind of systems, call on your CRM and ask them, could they do another hour once a year? Once a year with all of the staff, because there's going to be people who are trained by an internal
Well, I
person.
say to service providers, though, in the RecTalk space, that you need to be reaching out to your customers because you're not going to know that they're leaving until it's too late. They've gone out, they've demoed, they have decided who they're going with, and then they let you know that they want to leave.
That's it.
You are miles behind.
I could wax lyrical about how I think customer success in tech companies
It's appalling. It's appalling.
so bad. Tech adoption is what people use 10 to 20% of any given system. It's
Do you know
nuts.
90% of my clients have already got a financial advisor, and the reason that they come but the reason they come to me is because their financial advisor hasn't contacted them in over a year. And they're paying them a retained fee.
Honest.
So again, it's the same in my industry. Like, for example, I started off Avensys because I was fed up of dealing with IT suppliers that didn't, the first 3 months honeymoon, right? After that, you never see them, right? The point is, us as suppliers need to make a conscious decision to go out and provide touch points and value to the customers on an ongoing basis, right? So that is kind of left and falls off the wayside in most cases. And if you are in that kind of
They're
situation,
constantly chasing new business. That's where they put all their resources.
But I think it takes a lot more time to win a new client than it does to keep an existing one.
100%.
So
And an existing one is more likely to
why
spend
not
more
just
money
keep your
with you,
existing one?
recommend and be an ambassador for you, and above all else, is going to always be more profitable. Always, right?
Well, there's a number of recruitment agencies that don't go back on their old clients. They're always chasing the new ones. So it's a case of you should be every year having a look at, right, who did we do business with last year and when was the last time we spoke to them?
And now
Go
how
back
to
to
do
them
more
again.
business with them.
That's
So
it.
I've just done that with a client, and they found that revolutionary.
Yeah.
I mean, I see.
It was just like, what do you mean go back to our clients? Well, you've got terms agreed with them. Of course. Why not?
That's because,
They know who you are.
they feel like they did a sneaky thing. Like you wouldn't go.
Yeah,
back,
it feels like
if you
cheating,
got
doesn't
away
it? It
with
feels like a
something,
cheat code.
If you were trying to pull a fast one and you got away with it, you wouldn't go back and try it again with the same person. You'd go move on, right? And that's the point. It's that thief mentality. You don't actually believe, as a business, you deserve the fees that you charge. You genuinely don't believe that you've justified your position in the market.
Yeah.
And so that's why you're like, oh yeah, no, we placed with Keith before, but I don't know if I can ring him again because he's going to be like, oh, you, how dare you ring me? Like, do you know what I mean? And so it's like, I'd rather just ring other people because like, he might have a go at me because actually I wanted the fast one.
Keep the customers you've already got.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Say it, but in practice, it doesn't work.
Give them a bloody good service.
And sometimes I think I'm quite old school, and I like to go and see people. I'll do Teams calls if I have to, but I'm not mad keen on them. And it's the same for existing customers. I will go and see them. And even ideally once every 6 months.
but
if I
Keith also
can.
has a carbon footprint bigger than Taylor Swift.
And the drinking capacity of the culture. But that's the point. I mean, Christmas is coming up. I will go and see all of my existing agencies at Christmas. Not just send them a hamper, not send them a bottle.
Because you want 20 Christmas dinners.
I like a night out, Christian. What can I say? I enjoy a night out. What can I say?
That's a positive byproduct of the process.
Absolutely. And it's not even costing me anything.
It's like when you cook the goose, you collect the goose fat, right? It's just a positive
100%.
One of the things I brought into my business was, so mine's all over Zoom, like all over the country, but I realised that when I've started niching into the recruitment is I'm bringing these recruitment business owners on. So sort of the onboarding conversation, and I'll get in the car, go and meet them, sit in their office, feel the surroundings, look in the white of their eyes and all of that kind of thing. And that's made a huge difference on the relationship of it. And ultimately, you don't have to be that good to give a good service because so many people out there are giving a really shitty one.
Yeah, it's not hard, is it, to differentiate?
I think one of the key, another final thing is just create community. I think obviously what when you spoke about Mixos, they've done really well by getting the right people in the right rooms. just you've obviously got lots of clients. Just get them all in the room talking to each other.
Yeah.
They'll see more value.
We did a
great switch off, right?
fine dining thing for 10 of my clients, and it was great. And they all got together, and they were all realised that they had the same pain points and everything like that, and they loved it. And,
Fine dining.
Yeah, that's lovely. Yeah, it's fine dining. It was lovely.
Burger King.
Yeah, but it was the Wagyu burger.
All I want to add to it is that actually, to kind of bring all of what you're saying together, is that currently now, but from next 3 months from now, we are officially going to be closer to 2050 than we were 2000. How many recruitment businesses are still operating that 2000 to 2010 model, KPIing on 2000 to 2010 KPIs? Actually, the ones that are doing really well, they're the ones looking at what does a business look like in 2050? What does marketing look like in 2050? How do I reach people and candidates and clients in 2050? And then we put those things into place.
Yeah.
And start KPIing my guys on how they post on LinkedIn, the number of video messages they send, connections that they create on LinkedIn, events that they run or organize. They're the KPIs, not the did you do your 3 hours on the phone? Why not go back and do them? Were you in at 8 o'clock and leave at 6? And that's a combination of what you're all saying, which is you gotta look this way, not that way.
Did you ring your nan and leave the phone on for free?
Or just to dig it.
If you look at it from a hiking perspective, if you look backwards, great. It's great to see where you've come from. But actually, you've got a lot to, if you're looking to the top of that particular hill or mountain, there's a lot of stuff you've got to navigate. And what is it that is going to make that easier for you? How are you going to spot the right routes? What challenges are you going to take? How is it going to work for you in a way that people, who do you need around you to help you on that particular journey?
Down there up Everest in one go.
You don't, right? You've got to go to base camp. You've got to go through stages, and I feel like that's exactly what we've got to do. Maybe not look at 2050 specifically, but look at 2030. And then when you get close to 2030, look at 2035. Just look a few years ahead and see what people are looking to do now. I can guarantee people will do much better.
It's the old adage, isn't it? What works in the past is not going to work in the future.
That's right.
But one of the most countless phrases in our industry is, but that's how we've always done it.
Exactly.
That's just life in it in general.
That's right.
It's always done it like that.
Yeah.
A little curveball on that last thing. Us as suppliers need to do more to help, I think, sometimes make that decision of picking a supplier easier for people. Whether it's not about the reviews or anything here, I'm talking about the barriers to entry, right? A solo business owner, right? If I were to turn around to you, Christian, and say it's going to cost you £1,200 to come on board, get the system secured, give you a BMW or a Rolls Royce, are you going to do it?
What, you're going to give me a BMW for 1,200 quid?
I'm talking about your system.
No, I shouldn't say this because I'm going to have a call with you soon, but if it's right for me and my business needs it, I will spend.
How do you know that your business needs it?
Look, I think there's part of, again, you've got to build a trust, you've got to understand the people. We can't make decisions with 100% logic and guarantee. Sometimes there's got to be a bit of a leap of faith there. This guy in front of me, he's come from a good source. I know him. Yeah. Like if I took you on as a supplier, I see you every week. If you do a shit job for me, I'm going to tell other people. So
people don't buy by being pitched or told that they're doing something wrong. So we can't really go about saying you're not doing this.
People buy because they think it's going to get them an outcome.
Well, if whatever we buy in this world, it's based on trust, recommendation, and our own research. And so we can't, yes, we can try and educate and go into the specifics of it. But at the end of the day, you're helping them make a decision, not trying to challenge them on their decision that they're making. So if you obviously try and challenge, you can only do that once you've actually had a proper conversation with them. Trying to challenge from the first conversation is never going to work out. If you're there with a client on the phone going, actually, I think you're doing it wrong. What was the first thing they're going to do?
See you later, mate.
Tell you to fuck off and I'll see you later. But if you're there, say, well, actually, have you thought about these particular things? Are these particular things really important? What is important to you? Then you can start to build that relationship out, and then you can challenge.
Well, yeah, it comes down to the value, isn't it? Value proposition, giving them out the value that they deserve. But again, what I'm trying to come back to again is the barriers to entry.
Well, what do you mean by a barrier to entry?
As I mentioned, so one-man bands, why do us suppliers are not...
I've got 2 staff in South Africa. I'm not a one-man band. Don't you point at me calling me a one-man band, isn't it?
Oh, a 15-man band when you had your recruitment business. Why didn't you go to an IT supplier? Why did you...
I didn't see the value in it. But truthfully, I didn't see the value in it.
Right, so you could have saved your time doing X, Y, and Z, right? Instead of, we could have done that for you, for example. Where's the value in your time?
No, you're absolutely right. But I didn't ever have that conversation with an MSP. I was never approached by an MSP. In fact, we were opposite. Our office was opposite a company called Davis Ground IT, and they sold us £300 worth of their time to come and do some network cabling and shit like that. And we used 150 quid's worth of it. And then they were like, well, yeah, if next time you need anything, just you've got that in the bank now because we're not going to refund that back. And I used to sit there and be like, how can I use 150 quid? In fact, I wonder if they'll send one of their people around. I just wanted to stand there and dance for me. Stand and dance for 150 quid's worth. So the point I'm making though is that I didn't see the value in what a business like yours did at that time. So not because I was like, oh well, what's my time worth? And actually, this is taking a lot more time. It was because I didn't know they existed, care, and we thought, well, I'm doing it. It's getting done. At least I know what's going on with it. I'm in control. And the next time things go wrong, I know what to do. I'm good. Right? Do you know what I mean? I think a lot of time we don't account for the fact that people like learning new things. People might want to do their own bookkeeping because it teaches them a new skill or gives them a lens of their business that they didn't otherwise look at.
Yeah.
They like standing in front of their team and training them for an hour because it makes them feel closer to and makes their team feel like they can trust their boss and their boss gets it, Some people like actually going and looking at Aviva with profits bonds and looking at, maybe I'll do some, or go on Hargreaves Lansdowne and like do their own research. People like doing that. They like educating themselves.
People I've had people come and go, you go and need my help, mate, because
no, but that's the point. Some people like educating.
Only engineers.
Some people like going, that's fine, Keith.
They want to
appreciate it. But
add a new string to that bow, right?
All my clients pay on 7 days. I don't need it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly right. It's not always a case of going, everybody needs my product. It's a case of figuring out who these people like doing that. Yeah. The world has people who do DIY. I'm one of them. I taught myself to plaster. I taught myself to tile and put my bathroom in at Penrith with my father-in-law's support. Well, more supported him, right? Because I wanted to. So I wanted to learn. I fixed my Range Rover multiple times because I couldn't find anyone else who could do it. So I figured it out myself. And I enjoyed doing it. So I'm not a target customer for somebody who's going to come in and be like, let me save you some time. But I've got time in abundance. Right, let me save you some money. I don't care about the money element of it. You're not selling to me. So either go and find that person that does want the time saved and the money saved, or figure out how the fuck are we going to get through to this idiot.
Yeah. Do you know what? If you believe in what you do, and you believe you're going to help people and make their life, their business better, you've got a moral obligation to help them make the right decision for their business. And that might be using you, it might not be. And it's that skill set to be able to take them through, because ultimately everyone wants to make a decision, and it's binary, isn't it? They're going to use you, they're not going to use you. If you're convinced that their life's going to be better using you, you've got to help them, go through
Get to that point.
and you peel back because it'll be it's a lot of the time people say money. It's rarely about cost. It's normally about something else, or it's authority, or kind of my wife says, and then it comes down to like fear of change, fear of things being different, fear of giving something up, and it's sort of going through those. So it's your moral obligation to help them make the decision. That's not a sale. That's just helping them.
I love that. Right, gentlemen, who wants the last word? Because it's nearly pop o'clock and I've still got to wrap up all this equipment.
Go on, Bobby.
No, he's not spoken in. That's right, don't.
Yeah, well, I think you just mentioned cost there, but actually, I think people need to pivot away from cost.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
People talk about time, quality, cost, but it's about value, isn't it? Everything that we're trying to do is communicate value rather than what are you going to get for that cost. It's about return on investment. It's all about ROI and value, right? And so if you could, whether you're a recruitment business and you could think about the return on investment and the value that you're getting from something great, is for us as people selling into that industry to communicate what the value is of getting there. And, and just because time and cost wasn't an issue for you, or money wasn't an issue, quality might have been. What else could I have achieved by not being you and you doing that thing? And that could have elevated that business further forward. And it's little bit things like that.
That's why it is.
On that note, on that bombshell.
Genuinely, I want to thank you for making the journey. Thank you for your time. Looking forward to having a few beers and some dinner with some of you.
Lovely.
Hopefully all of you. Guys, if you want to hear more from any of the panel and figure out more about what they do, go through the channel. They've all come on the podcast several times. Reach out to them on LinkedIn. All the details will be in the description. Hopefully Tristan gets around to putting it all in. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, watching all the cool shit that you guys do that allow me to do this as a job. We'll see you again. Thank you. Gents, cheers.
Cheers, mate.
My first recommendation to you is Infinity Staff Global. Ross and the team specialise in finding you outsourced and offshore staff based out in South Africa. I can talk from experience, fantastic members of staff, but they can help you get 180-degree recruiters, 360 degrees recruiters, back office support, marketing professionals, or even business development professionals for your team. Link in the comments. Next up is Matt Fox and Exodus Advisory. If you're an agency that's looking for guidance and growth advice, if you're looking for mentoring, if you're looking for a recruitment leader to take you from startup through to sell up, Matt Fox is your guy. This is a person who recently went through exiting an agency, explored all the different options, and is very well placed to help you tailor your business model and your business strategy to achieving the exit that you are looking for. My next recommendation is SourceFlow. Now, there's lots of reasons to recommend SourceFlow, but one that stands out for me is their attribution analytics and their actual ROI tools. So SourceFlow shows you agencies exactly where every candidate and every client lead comes from, and soon you'll even be able to do revenue analytics and let you decide and figure out the ROI of every placement that's been made via your website. Again, link in the comments. My next recommendation is The Marketing Junction. So if you're looking to increase your sales and profits, reduce costs, and choose recruitment marketing specialists who've got years of hard-won experience, get in touch with Robert Woodford and the team and take your recruitment marketing that little bit more seriously. My final recommendation for you is none other than Conquest. Carl and the team are the only commission management platform in the recruitment industry. So if you're looking to automate, calculate, and motivate your recruiters using their commission structures, if you want to keep an eye out what's going on, if you want advice and recommendations on how you should be structuring your commissions, get in touch with Carl and the team. Link in the descriptions.